Scorpio, that look, that moment when someone looked at you and something in the air changed. It wasn't an ordinary look, the kind you get every day and forget in 2 seconds. It was different, charged, heavy with meaning. And you, who miss nothing, who pick up on every micro-expression, every disguised energy, every hidden intention, you caught it. Of course you caught it. The question isn't whether you noticed. The question is, are you ready to know what it really means? Because something is happening, Scorpio. Something silent, subterranean, invisible to everyone but you. Someone is watching you. Not in that casual, distracted way, but in a way that burns, in a way that reveals, in a way that this person probably doesn't even realize they're doing it, but it's happening because something inside them awakened when you came onto their radar. And I know you're already wondering who it is. You're already going over every recent interaction. You're already suspicious, because suspicion is your superpower, isn't it? But here's what will send chills down your spine. You might be suspicious of the wrong person. You might be so focused on analyzing the obvious suspects that you're completely ignoring who's really seeing you. Because sometimes, Scorpio, the most dangerous, the most transformative, the most real look comes from where you least expect it. It comes from someone you underestimated, someone you put in a safe box and labeled as harmless, predictable, or impossible. And when you finally realize where that look is coming from, everything will make sense in a way that will leave you breathless. Now take a deep breath, because I'm going to tell you something that no one else dares to say. This look isn't about physical attraction. Or rather, it's not just about that. It's much deeper, much more disturbing. This person isn't just finding you attractive or interesting. They're seeing you, really seeing you. And you know how rare that is, especially for someone like you, who spends their whole life hiding behind layers and layers of protection, only showing what they want others to see, controlling every fragment of their image. But this person, they broke through all your defenses without even trying. They saw you, and now they can't look away. You must be wondering, how do I know this? How can I be sure I'm not making it up, that it's not paranoia? And the answer lies within you. It's in that chill down your spine you felt when you crossed paths with that person. It's in that strange silence that settled between you, full of unspoken things. It's in the way you started thinking about that person out of the blue, for no apparent reason. Your body knows. Your intuition knows. Only your head is still trying to rationalize, searching for concrete evidence to validate what your instinct confirmed days ago. But there's a problem, Scorpio. You hate being vulnerable. You hate the idea of someone having power over you, of someone being able to affect you, move you, take you out of control. So what do? You pretend you didn't notice. You ignore it. You test it. You create distance to see if the person will come after you. You turn something that could be simple into an emotional chess game where you always need to be 3 steps ahead. And in the process, you lose. Because while you're playing, that person is simply feeling, simply seeing you, simply being real in a way you've forgotten how to be. Let me ask you a question that might hurt. What if you stopped controlling? What if, for once in your life, you let things happen without manipulating, without testing, without checking all the variables before taking a step? I know that scares you. I know your first reaction is to think, impossible, I need to protect myself. Now, but Scorpio, protect yourself from what? From being seen, from being loved for who you really are, and not for the persona you've built. From finally finding someone who doesn't run away from your intensity, but dives into it. That person who's looking at you differently, they're not afraid of you. And that completely destabilizes you, doesn't it? You're so used to intimidating, pushing people away, making them retreat with your intensity, that when someone appears who not only doesn't retreat but stares you back, you don't know what to do. All your strategies, all your defense mechanisms, all your tactics, useless, because you can't manipulate someone who has already seen you completely and decided to stay anyway. And you know what's even crazier? You're scared. You, Scorpio, who everyone thinks is fearless, are terrified, because that look represents something you've longed for your whole life, but never believed was possible. To be known, to be accepted, to be loved not despite your darkness, but including it. And now that it's here, right in front of you, you don't know whether to embrace it or destroy it before it destroys you. I'll tell you a secret about this person. She's just as confused as you are. She didn't plan on seeing you like this. She didn't wake up one day and decide, today I'm going to fall in love with the most complicated mystery I know. It just happened. It simply happened. She was living her normal life and suddenly you appeared. Or you were always there but something changed, and now she can't stop seeing you. It's like you flipped a switch inside her that she didn't even know existed. And the most interesting thing is, she's probably fighting it just as much as you are. Because seeing you, really seeing you, means making a commitment. It means entering a world where there are no half measures, where you can't sit on the fence, where it's all or nothing. And that scares anyone, no matter how brave they are. So she looks at you when she thinks you're not looking. She looks away when you look back. She pretends to be normal while inside she's in a hurricane. Does that remind you of anyone? Here's what's happening behind the scenes of this story. You two are dancing. A slow, dangerous, delicious dance between two people who have recognized something in each other but are too terrified to admit it. It's a dance of approach and retreat, of mixed signals, of charged silences, of superficial conversations that hide oceanic depths. And it can continue like this for months, even years, if one of you doesn't have the courage to break the pattern. Now pay attention, because this part is crucial. This person isn't perfect. They aren't the answer to all your problems. They won't save you, heal you, or complete you. But you know what they will do. They will challenge you. They will provoke you. They will take you out of that I control everything zone and throw you into the wonderful chaos of truly connecting with another human being. And that, for you, Scorpio, is terrifying and exciting in equal measure. The question is, are you willing to trade control for connection? There's one thing you need to understand about this different perspective. It doesn't ask for permission. It's not something you can negotiate or manage. It simply exists. And the more you try to ignore it, the stronger it becomes. The more you try to rationalize it, the more it consumes you. The more you try to escape it, the more it pursues you. Because this kind of recognition, this kind of mutual understanding, doesn't operate within the rules of the material world. It operates in dimensions you can't control, no matter how hard you try. And here's a brutal truth. You already know who it is. You've read this far, and one specific person hasn't left your mind for a single second. You may have tried to think of others. You may have tried to confuse yourself, but there's one person whose name is flashing in neon in your mind right now. And the fact that you're resisting admitting it, even to yourself, says everything that needs to be said about the power this person has over you. But let's talk about what really matters here. What are you going to do with this information? Because now you know. You can no longer pretend you didn't notice. You can no longer hide behind denial. You know that someone is seeing you in a way that no one else does. You know there's an opportunity here for something real, something profound, something that can completely transform you. And you have two choices. You can do what you always do. Protect yourself, create distance, test until you destroy, sabotage before taking the risk. Or you can do something different, something frightening, something that goes against all your self-preservation instincts. You can be real, you can be vulnerable, you can admit that you feel, that you see, that you want. Because here's the secret no one told you. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's courage. It's the bravest thing you can do, and someone who can truly see you deserves to see that courage too. Now let me tell you what will happen if you do nothing. That look will continue. It will become more and more intense. It will create a tension that will fill every space between you. And at some point, it will explode. It might explode in confrontation. It might explode in definitive distance. It might explode in a night of confessing everything at once, but it will explode. The only question is, do you want to control how it happens, or will you let the universe decide for you? And there's one more thing you need to know. This person is giving you a gift. The gift of being seen, the gift of not having to hide, the gift of being able to be intense, complex, complicated, and still be accepted. There aren't many people in the world capable of offering that, especially to someone like you. So when you finally realize the value of this gift, perhaps it's time to reciprocate. Not with games, not with tests, not with manipulations, but with honesty, with presence, with the willingness to let this person see even deeper. Because here's the ultimate truth, the one you've been waiting for since you started reading. You're not ready for this. Nobody is ready for the kind of connection that gaze represents. But that doesn't matter. Being ready is overrated. What matters is being willing to try, willing to make mistakes, willing to be completely deconstructed and rebuilt in the process of truly knowing and being known by another human being. The look you're receiving is an invitation to step out of the shadows where you hide so well. An invitation to show not only the strategic version of yourself, but the real, messy, contradictory version. An invitation to stop observing life from afar and start living it up close, where things are confusing and imperfect, but infinitely more real. And you know what the most ironic part of all this is? You, who spend your whole life seeing through people, reading them like open books, discovering every secret, every lie, every hidden truth. You finally found someone who reads you back. Someone who sees your lies, your disguises, your strategies, and instead of exposing you, instead of using it against you, simply looks at you with understanding, with acceptance, with a kind of love that doesn't require you to be different from who you are. So Scorpio, here's the choice. You can continue pretending you didn't notice. You can continue testing, investigating, keeping a safe distance. You can continue being the observer, the strategist, the one who never truly takes risks. Or you can do something revolutionary for someone like you. You can trust, not blind trust. You would never be capable of that, but conscious trust. The deliberate choice to believe that maybe, just maybe, this person deserves to see who you really are. And when you do it, don't fool yourself, you will do it, because something inside you has already decided. Even if your mind is still resisting, you will discover something extraordinary. You will discover that being seen doesn't weaken you. In fact, it strengthens you, because finally you don't have to carry the weight of all your masks. Finally, you can rest in the truth of who you are. Finally, you can be loved not for your performance, but for your essence. But there's a warning that needs to come along. This will change you, profoundly, irrevocably. You won't be able to go back to being the Scorpio you were before this person crossed your path and truly saw you. You'll have to rebuild your entire identity around this new reality. You're not invincible. You don't need to be. And someone loves you not despite that, but because of it. The look you're receiving carries promises and dangers in equal measure. The promise of real connection, the promise of being understood, the promise of finally having a place where you can take off your armor, but also the danger of being hurt, the danger of losing control, the danger of caring more than you should. And you'll have to decide if the promises are worth the dangers. Spoiler alert, they are. They always are. But you need to reach that conclusion on your own. Now, I'm going to tell you something you already know but need to hear. This person is not your salvation. They are not your condemnation. They are simply a mirror that reflects not only who you are, but who you can become when you stop hiding. And what you see in that mirror will both frighten and fascinate you at the same time. Because you will see potential. You will see possibilities. You will see a version of yourself that you didn't even know existed. And here's the last secret, the most important of all, that different look you're getting. It's not one-sided. You're looking back too. You may not have admitted it yet. You may be denying it with all your might, but you're also seeing this person differently. You're noticing details you never noticed before. You're looking for them in places you shouldn't. You're making excuses to be near them. You're doing exactly what they're doing, trying to figure out if what you're feeling is real without exposing yourself too much in the process. You two are trapped in the same labyrinth, walking in circles, getting closer and further apart, afraid to find the center, but also afraid you'll never find it. And do you know what happens when two people are trapped in the same labyrinth for too long? They either find the way out together or they lose each other completely. There's no middle ground. There's no let's see what happens when the connection is at this level. It's transformation or nothing. So here's the final call, the ultimate provocation. How long will you pretend you don't know what I'm talking about? How long will you let this tension build until it becomes unbearable? How much time will you waste being strategic when you could be being real? Because in the end, Scorpio, life is too short to spend half of it hiding and the other half wishing you'd had the courage to show up. That different look you're getting isn't a coincidence. It's not your imagination. It's not something that will pass if you ignore it long enough. It's a definite moment disguised as an ordinary one. It's the universe saying, here, this is your chance to have something real. And you can accept it or refuse it. You can dive in or run away. You can trust it or doubt it. But you can't pretend you didn't see it. Not anymore. Not after reading these words and feeling each one of them echo within your chest as undeniable truth. Because you know what's scariest about all this, Scorpio. It's not the possibility of getting hurt. You've been hurt before and survived. It's not the possibility of being rejected. You've been rejected and rebuilt yourself. What truly terrifies you is the possibility of things working out, of things functioning, of being reciprocated with the same intensity that you feel, because then you have no more excuses. You can no longer blame the world for not understanding you. You can no longer hide behind the narrative that no one can handle your depth. You'll have to admit that maybe, just maybe, the problem was never other people. The problem was always you not letting anyone get close enough. And when that person finally looks you in the eyes and tells you everything they're feeling, when they take off their masks and show you that they're also afraid, also vulnerable, also taking risks, what will you do? Will you back down? Will you intellectualize? Will you turn a moment of truth into just another power game? Or will you finally have the courage to say, I see you too, I feel you too, and it scares me as much as it scares you, but let's try anyway. There's something about this look that you need to understand. It's not asking for perfection. It's not asking you to be less intense, less complicated, less yourself. It's asking for presence. It's asking you to show up, to stop hiding behind edited versions and allow someone to know the original. And yes, the original is messy. It's contradictory. It's sometimes even scary to yourself, but it's real. And real is what this person wants. Not the strategic version, not the safe version, the true version with all its shadows and all its light. Someone is looking at you differently. You know who it is. You feel what it means. Now the only question left is, what are you going to do about it?